Someone is making your life hell right now. You know exactly who I'm talking about. That person who makes your stomach drop when you see their name pop up, who twists everything you say, who criticizes you in front of others, who makes you feel small, stupid, or worthless. Maybe it's your boss, the one who publicly humiliates you in meetings, who takes credit for your work but blames you for every failure, who makes you dread Monday mornings so much you can't sleep Sunday nights. Maybe it's a family member, the one who knows exactly which buttons to push, who brings up your failures at every gathering, who makes you feel like you'll never be good enough no matter what you achieve. Maybe it's a coworker, the one who undermines you behind your back, who spreads rumors, who smiles to your face while sharpening knives for your back. Whoever it is, they're stealing your peace, your joy, your confidence. They live rent-free in your head, poisoning your thoughts even when they're not around. You've tried everything, being nice, fighting back, avoiding them. Nothing works. They just keep coming. Here's what nobody tells you. 2,000 years ago, people faced toxic people who could literally kill them. Emperors who executed on a whim, masters who beat slaves to death, tyrants who destroyed anyone who challenged them. And some people figured out how to stay free inside, how to protect their peace, how to silence toxic people without fighting them. They discovered 7 rules, not theories, survival tools. Let me show you what they learned. Rule 1. Recognize disrespect reveals them, not you. Agrippinus faces Nero. Rome, 66 AD. Senator Peconius Agrippinus receives a summons. Emperor Nero wants to see him. Everyone knows what this means. Nero is paranoid, unstable. He's already killed his own mother, his wife, dozens of senators. He sees conspiracies everywhere. And now he suspects Agrippinus of disloyalty. Agrippinus arrives at the palace. Other senators are there, all terrified. Nero wants them to testify against their friends, to sign documents condemning innocent men, to prove their loyalty through betrayal. One by one, they comply. Hands shaking, careers saved, souls sold. Then it's Agrippinus's turn. Nero slides the document across the table. Sign it. Agrippinus reads it, looks at Nero, says one word, no. The room goes silent. You don't say no to Nero, not if you want to keep breathing. Nero leans forward. You refuse your emperor? I refuse to lie, Agrippinus says calmly. What you're asking me to say isn't true, so I won't say it. Nero's face darkens. Do you understand what happens to people who defy me? I do, but I also understand that your opinion of me doesn't change who I am. You can take my property, you can take my life, but you cannot make me participate in injustice. That choice remains mine. Nero explodes, rages, threatens, calls Agrippinus a fool, a traitor, a worthless piece of nothing who will die in exile and be forgotten. And here's what's remarkable. Agrippinus smiles, not mockingly, peacefully, because he understands something Nero doesn't. Every insult Nero throws reveals Nero's character, not Agrippinus's. The tyrant is showing everyone in the room exactly who he is. A man so insecure he needs others to lie, to feel powerful. Agrippinus walks out alive. Exiled, yes, but free, in the only way that matters. Your life right now. Your toxic person criticizes you constantly. Your work is never good enough. Your ideas are always stupid. You're too sensitive, too ambitious, too lazy, too something. And you believe them. Because when someone says something enough times, with enough confidence, you start to wonder if they're right. Stop. Here's what's actually happening. Their criticism isn't about you, it's about them. Secure people don't need to tear others down. Confident people don't feel threatened by your success. Happy people don't spend their energy making others miserable. When someone disrespects you, they're showing you who they are, not who you are. Your toxic boss who humiliates you in meetings, that reveals their insecurity. Their need to feel powerful by making others feel small. Your family member who constantly criticizes, that reveals their own disappointments. Their need to feel superior because they feel inferior inside. Your backstabbing coworker? That reveals their fear, their belief that the only way they can rise is by pushing others down. What you do today. Next time they attack you, try this mental shift. Don't think, what's wrong with me that they're treating me this way? Think instead, what's going on inside them that they need to treat people this way? The insult stops being about you and becomes information about them. And information doesn't hurt the same way personal attacks do. Write this down tonight. Their disrespect is a mirror reflecting their character, not mine. Read it every time they come for you. Watch how it changes what their words can do to you. Rule 2. Don't give them power over your peace. Epictetus and the broken leg. Epirus, Greece, around 60 AD. Epictetus is a slave, property, owned by Epaphroditus, a wealthy freedman who serves Emperor Nero. Epaphroditus is cruel, unpredictable, one day friendly, the next day violent. Epictetus never knows which version he'll get. One evening, Epaphroditus is angry about something unrelated to Epictetus, but slaves are convenient targets. He grabs Epictetus's leg and starts twisting it, slowly, deliberately, watching for the fear response. Epictetus doesn't beg, doesn't cry out. He says calmly, "If you keep doing that, you're going to break it." Epaphroditus twists harder. The leg breaks. Epictetus looks at him and says, "See, I told you it would break." The master expects screaming, tears, begging. Instead, he gets calm observation, as if Epictetus is commenting on the weather, not his own shattered bone. Later, someone asks Epictetus how he remained so calm. He explains, "He had power over my leg. He never had power over my mind. I decided he wouldn't have my fear. He could break my bones, but he couldn't make me give him my peace. That was mine to keep or give away. I chose to keep it." Your life right now. Your toxic person wants a reaction. That's the point. They say terrible things or do terrible things specifically to make you upset, angry, scared, or hurt. And when you react emotionally, they win. They've proven they have power over you. They can reach into your mind and pull your strings whenever they want. Think about it. When you spend your evening replaying what they said, getting angrier and more hurt, rehearsing what you wish you'd said back, who's controlling your evening? Not you, them. They're not even there and they're still running your thoughts. When you lie awake at night anxious about seeing them tomorrow, who's controlling your night? Them. When you change your behavior, your schedule, your plans to avoid them or please them, who's controlling your life? Them. You're giving them power they didn't take. You're handing it to them. What you do today. Here's the practice. Create a mental boundary. Visualize a wall between their actions and your peace. They can do what they do on their side of the wall. You remain calm on yours. When they insult you, wall. Their words hit it and stop. Don't let them through. When they try to provoke you, wall. Their manipulation hits it and falls. When they create drama, wall. Their chaos stays on their side. This isn't about not caring. It's about not giving them the one thing they actually want. Your emotional reaction. Start today. Next time they come at you, imagine that wall. Respond flatly, calmly, like Epictetus observing a broken leg. "I see you're upset. That's your perspective. Okay. Watch how it deflates them. They're expecting fireworks. Give them nothing. Your peace isn't up for negotiation. Stop trading it for their approval or fearing their disapproval." Rule 3. Respond with indifference, not defense. Cato and Caesar's insults. Rome, 60 BC. Julius Caesar is rising. Powerful, charismatic, dangerous. He's building alliances, breaking rules, accumulating power in ways that threaten the Republic. Cato the Younger sees this, and Cato, stubborn, principled, impossible to intimidate, stands in his way. Every law Caesar wants passed, Cato blocks. Every corrupt deal, Cato exposes. Caesar tries everything to neutralize him. Bribery doesn't work, Cato can't be bought. Threats don't work, Cato doesn't fear death. So Caesar tries humiliation. In the Senate, in front of Rome's elite, Caesar attacks Cato personally, mocks his austere lifestyle, his old-fashioned morals, his unpopularity, his failure to achieve the political success Caesar enjoys. Everyone watches Cato, waiting for him to defend himself, to argue back, to explain why he's not what Caesar says he is. Cato does something else. He barely reacts. No anger, no long defense, just a calm acknowledgement and return to the actual issue. "You may think what you wish about me," Cato says, "but the law you're proposing is still unjust. My character is irrelevant to that fact." Caesar escalates. More personal attacks. More attempts to make Cato emotional, defensive, distracted. Cato remains unmoved. Speaks only about principles, not personalities. Refuses to be drawn into defending himself. And here's what happens. The more Caesar attacks and the less Cato defends, the worse Caesar looks. The attacks reveal Caesar's desperation. Cato's calm reveals his strength. Your life right now. Your toxic person baits you. They say something insulting, then wait for you to defend yourself. To explain, to prove you're not what they said you are. And the moment you start defending, you've lost. Because defense implies the accusation might be valid. It implies their opinion matters. It gives them exactly what they want. Your attention, your energy, your emotional engagement. Think about the last time they criticized you and you spent 20 minutes explaining why they were wrong. Did they say, "Oh, you're right, I apologize"? No, they doubled down. Found new things to criticize. Twisted your defense into more ammunition. You can't win by defending. The game is rigged. What you do today? Practice indifference. Not cruelty, not coldness. Just not engaging with the bait. When they insult you, okay, then change the subject or walk away. When they criticize your work, I'll take that into consideration, then continue doing what you were doing. When they try to start an argument, I see, we disagree, then end the conversation. No defending, no explaining, no trying to make them understand, just acknowledgement without engagement. This is incredibly hard at first. Your instinct screams to defend yourself, to prove them wrong, to make them see. Ignore that instinct. It's a trap. Your worth doesn't require their validation. Your truth doesn't need their approval. The less you defend, the less they can attack. Try it once today. When they come at you, respond with calm indifference. Watch their confusion when you don't take the bait. Rule 4. Control your reaction, not their behavior. 172 AD. Emperor Marcus Aurelius is fighting Germanic tribes. The war is brutal. Every decision means lives saved or lost. Marcus gives clear orders to a general. Hold the defensive position. Wait for reinforcements. Do not engage in open battle. The general disobeys. Thinks he knows better. Attacks anyway. It's a disaster. Hundreds of Roman soldiers die unnecessarily. A crucial position is lost. The report reaches Marcus. He reads it twice. Feels rage building. This general's arrogance just killed his men. Good soldiers, fathers, sons, dead because someone wanted glory more than he wanted to follow orders. Marcus could have the general executed, could make an example, could let his anger dictate his response. Instead, he stops, breathes, opens his journal, and reads something he wrote to himself months earlier. You have power over your mind, not outside events. He cannot unkill those soldiers. He cannot change the general's decision. That already happened. All he can control now is his response. Marcus writes a letter, firm but measured. The general is reassigned, not executed. The mistake is documented, not dramatized. Marcus refuses to add his own rage to the tragedy. Later he writes, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, today I will meet with meddling, ungrateful, arrogant people. They are like this because they cannot tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and I know that the wrongdoer is related to me." Your life right now. You cannot change your toxic person. You cannot make them be fair, kind, or reasonable. You cannot force them to see your perspective. You cannot control their behavior. You can only control yours. And yet you spend enormous energy trying to change them, trying to make them understand, trying to get them to treat you better, trying to fix them. It's exhausting. And it doesn't work. They are who they are. They'll change if and when they decide to, not because you explained it well enough or proved yourself enough or endured enough. What you do today. Stop trying to change them. Start changing your relationship to them. You can't make your boss respect you, but you can decide how you respond when they disrespect you. You can document it. You can set boundaries. You can plan your exit if necessary. You can't make your family member stop criticizing, but you can decide you won't engage with the criticism. You can limit contact. You can change the subject. You can leave the room. You can't make your coworker stop undermining you, but you can protect your work. You can communicate in writing. You can build alliances elsewhere. Control shift from how do I change them to how do I respond effectively? Tonight, write down one specific behavior they do that makes you crazy. Then write down 3 responses you control: what you say, what you do, what boundary you set. Stop fighting battles you can't win. Start winning the battle you can, the one for your own response. Rule 5. Use their toxicity to build your strength. Epictetus serves in Epaphroditus' household. Every day brings potential abuse. Every interaction is a reminder that he's property, not a person. Most slaves are broken by this, become bitter, resentful, give up on everything except survival. Epictetus does something strange. He treats every difficult interaction as training, every insult as practice for staying calm, every abuse as an opportunity to prove that external circumstances don't control his internal state. He starts thinking of his master as an unwitting philosophy teacher. The man is giving him daily opportunities to practice Stoic principles under the hardest possible conditions. When insulted, practice not taking it personally. When threatened, practice not fearing what you can't control. When treated unjustly, practice accepting reality without bitterness. He writes later, difficulties are things that show what men are. When a difficult situation confronts you, remember that God, like a trainer of wrestlers, has matched you with a tough opponent. The harder the opponent, the stronger you become. If all you faced were easy people, you'd never develop real strength. Years later, after gaining his freedom, Epictetus becomes one of history's greatest philosophers. Students travel from across the empire to learn from him. And what does he teach? Everything he learned from his opponent. Your toxic person is making you stronger. You just don't see it yet. Every time they push your buttons and you choose not to react, you're building emotional control. Every time they criticize you and you don't internalize it, you're building self-worth. Every time they create chaos and you stay calm, you're building resilience. They're your unwitting trainers, difficult opponents building muscles you didn't know you had. The people who've never faced a toxic person, they crumble the first time someone's mean to them. You're developing immunity, skills, strength. What you do today, reframe the relationship. They're not just making your life difficult, they're training you. Keep a strength journal. When they do something toxic, write, today I practiced specific skill, when toxic person did specific thing. Examples, today I practiced emotional control when my boss yelled at me in the meeting. Today I practiced boundary setting when my mother criticized my parenting. Today, I practiced not defending myself when my coworker spread lies. Watch the list grow. That's not suffering, that's a training log. You're an athlete in the sport of handling difficult people, and you're getting better. 6 months from now, someone else will face a difficult person and crumble. You'll handle it easily, because you've been training with a black belt in toxicity. Thank them silently for the workout. Then continue building your strength. If you're finding these rules helpful, hit that subscribe button. Now let's continue. Rule 6. Remember you're free inside, regardless. Admiral James Stockdale's plane is shot down. He's captured, tortured, held in the infamous Hanoi Hilton prison camp for 7 years. His captors control everything. When he eats, when he sleeps, whether he's beaten or left alone, they try to break him, force him to make propaganda statements, use him against his country. They have total power over his body, zero power over his mind. Stockdale studied the Stoics, particularly Epictetus, and in that prison, ancient philosophy becomes an immediate survival tool. He develops a mental discipline. His captors can hurt his body. They cannot touch who he is inside. That remains his, free, uncontrolled. When tortured, he separates his physical experience from his identity. His body hurts, but his core self, his values, his dignity, his freedom to choose, his attitude remains intact. He creates communication systems with other prisoners, maintains discipline, keeps morale up, refuses to let captivity destroy their humanity. After 7 years, he's released. Reporters ask how he survived. He credits Epictetus. You're free inside. They can chain your body. They can't chain your mind. That's always yours. Your toxic person doesn't own you, even if they're your boss who controls your paycheck, even if they're your parent whose approval you've always wanted, even if they're your partner who knows all your vulnerabilities. They control circumstances. They don't control you. You can be disrespected and still respect yourself. You can be criticized and still know your worth. You can be trapped in a bad situation and still be free where it matters inside. This is hard to grasp because we confuse external freedom with internal freedom. We think if we're stuck in a job with a toxic boss, we're not free, but that's physical circumstance. Your mind? Still yours. What you do today. Practice this daily reminder. You control the outside. I control the inside. When they criticize you, you control your words. I control whether I believe them. When they create drama, you control your actions. I control my peace. When they try to manipulate you, you control your tactics. I control my response. Start saying it out loud in private. I am free inside, regardless of what you do. Feel the truth of it. They cannot force you to feel worthless. They cannot make you hate yourself. They cannot steal your dignity. Those are yours to keep or give away. Stop giving them away. Your internal freedom is the one thing they can never take. Only you can surrender it. Don't. Rule 7. Protect yourself, strategically, not emotionally. Rome, 62 AD. Seneca has been Nero's advisor for years. He knows the emperor is unstable, increasingly paranoid, turning on advisors without warning. Seneca could respond emotionally, get angry, fight back publicly, defend his honor dramatically. He doesn't. He responds strategically. He quietly starts reducing his visibility, steps back from daily involvement, documents everything, keeps detailed records of advice given and decisions made, builds alliances with reasonable senators, prepares his finances for possible exile or confiscation. When Nero finally turns on him, Seneca isn't caught by surprise. He's prepared, not because he fought emotionally, but because he planned strategically. Even his death is strategic. When Nero orders him to commit suicide, Seneca does so with dignity, surrounded by friends, leaving behind written works that will outlive both him and Nero. He protected himself not through emotional warfare, but through intelligent preparation. You need to protect yourself, but most people do it wrong. They respond emotionally instead of strategically. Emotional protection, yelling back at your boss, confronting your toxic family member publicly, sending angry emails to your backstabbing coworker. Strategic protection, documenting everything, building your exit plan, creating evidence, setting boundaries systematically, protecting yourself legally and professionally. Emotional protection feels good in the moment, but usually makes things worse. Strategic protection feels slower, but actually works. Stop reacting. Start protecting. If it's a toxic boss, document every interaction in writing. Email summaries of verbal conversations. Build alliances with HR and other departments. Update your resume. Network. Have options. Keep records of your accomplishments separate from company files. If it's a toxic family member, set clear boundaries. I'll visit for 2 hours, not overnight. Have an exit strategy for every gathering. I'm driving separately. Don't engage in emotional arguments. Grey rock. Boring. Brief responses. Consider reducing contact without announcement or drama. If it's a toxic coworker, communicate in writing. Create paper trails. Loop in others on important conversations. Focus on your work quality so their lies are obviously false. Build relationships with decision makers separate from the toxic person. Strategic protection isn't revenge. It's not even about them. It's about you being smart. You can stay calm and still protect yourself. You can refuse to hate them and still document their behavior. You can wish them well from a distance while making sure they can't harm you. Be Seneca. Prepare. Document. Create options. Protect yourself intelligently while maintaining your principles. Why this still matters. Agrippinus, Epictetus, Cato, Marcus, Seneca, Stockdale, all dead, some for 2,000 years. But toxic people? Still here, still making lives miserable, still stealing peace from people who don't know how to stop them. The names change, the faces change, the specific circumstances change. But the pattern is eternal. Some people tear others down. Some people manipulate. Some people can't feel big unless they make others feel small. And most people respond the same way. Fight back emotionally. Defend themselves desperately. Let the toxic person steal their peace, their confidence, their joy. These 7 rules work because they're based on something that never changes. Human psychology. You can't control other people. You can control yourself. That's been true forever. Use these tools, not because they're ancient wisdom that sounds impressive. Use them because they actually work when someone's making your life hell. Here they are one final time. Recognize disrespect reveals them, not you. Their attacks are information about their character, not yours. Don't give them power over your peace. Stop handing them control of your emotions. Respond with indifference, not defense. Don't take the bait. Stay calm. Control your reaction, not their behavior. You can't change them. Change your response. Use their toxicity to build your strength. Every difficulty is training. Get stronger. Remember, you're free inside, regardless. They control circumstances. You control you. Protect yourself strategically, not emotionally. Document. Plan. Build options. Stay smart. You don't have to let them win. You don't have to carry their poison in your mind. You don't have to give them your peace. They can be toxic. You can be free. Drop a comment. Which rule do you need most right now? Which toxic person in your life are you going to use these on? Let's help each other stay strong. Now go silence them. Not by fighting, by refusing to be moved. They can't steal what you don't give them.